Start as a one, since we never know how this cuts. And a lot of twos, and you can give me a question if you can get one, but you can make your moves pretty quick if you want to.
Anytime.
Okay. Well, congratulations on this latest Star Trek, but why did you want to go and direct this thing? I mean, it'd be enough having to act.
It was a command imperative. I don't know. I've wanted to direct a film all my life. I've directed plays and television, but always was that goal. And here I was handed this opportunity, and I grasped it with both hands.
Did it help that you had done 4 other Star Trek movies and understood pretty much the process?
Well, I didn't understand the process. To understand how special effects work, you have to work with it. You have to know what the problems are in a special effect. You have to know what it can achieve. And in a dim way, knowing what it can't achieve gives you a leg up, because you ask for more than they can deliver. And then you say, but I want this effect. And it requires people to expand their brains if you don't know what's happening. So the combination of not knowing, then learning how it works, and you have to have a hands-on before you can learn.
Are you pretty happy with the product? Is it your vision? I guess I should say you had a vision for what you wanted. How close is the vision?
Well, I wrote the original story, which was then worked on by David Lowery, Harv Bennett, and myself, and it maintains the story, but the original story had something else, went further. It's funnier. It's a different tenor, but the basic same story.
I guess directing can be a little frustrating, actually, because you have this thing in mind, and it's good what comes out in the product, but it's still never what you think it's going to be.
There's a story inside the director's brain. There's a film inside the director's brain that never gets made, and so I was the only one who was sitting in that viewing room to see my film. The film that came out is a terrific film, I think, and I like it. But I've learned that there are 2 films at work.
Did William Shatner, the family man, the husband, did he ever bring home any of his work mentally at night?
Well, other than punching a wall through with my no, I leave it where
Are
it's
you
at.
pretty good after all these years of leaving the work
yeah.
at the set?
I go visit my horses.
That's a lot of therapy. Leonard Nimoy spent a lot of time trying to escape the Spock character all these years. He wrote books about it, and he came back to it. How have you dealt with James T. Kirk all these years? Has he just kind of been a friend, or has he really been a problem, or what?
I don't really deal with that. People recognize me on the street as either Shatner or Hooker or Kirk or a variety of other things, but I don't find myself dealing with it as a problem. I find that in a debit and credit situation, it's a much more creditable thing to be Captain Kirk than not to be.
So you've never been one much, and probably the only one in the cast, that really didn't go to these Star Trek conventions and deal with the fans that much. I know you've done some.
That's true. I haven't done many conventions over the years. In this last while this picture is now being released and ready to be shown June 9th and through the summer, I want people to come and see it. I feel directly responsible that this do well at the box office. So I've attended some conventions this year, and in Denver a few weeks ago there were 4,000 people that I was talking to. New York, Washington, it's an incredible experience to stand alone on a stage for an hour and have to entertain people with unscripted.
You know, I think a lot of people used to think that the Trek people, Trekkies, were a little strange, but I think I understand them more after this movie than I ever have. There's a sense of family that has always been in a popular television show or a movie. Bonanza had it, Lucy had it, and I think people are comfortable in seeing their friends up there. And I think that's what it really boils down to. They enjoy seeing you people. They're an extended family.
That's interesting, and it's one of the first times I've heard an interviewer put his finger on one of the main elements of what I think is attractive in Star Trek. But for you to say it as emphatically after having seen Star Trek V pleases me very much.
Well, this is more family-oriented as far as the Enterprise family, the Kirk, Spock, and McCoy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because you sit around a campfire together and sing the classic "Row, row, row your boat," and that's a little odd, a little strange, but it's fun. How the humor? Did you really have to make sure that the humor was injected a lot into this, or does it kind of come naturally?
Well, we knew that humor in Star Trek is a big factor, so there was both conscious and unconscious attempts at doing that. By unconscious, I mean when we got on the set, we found that delivering a line lightly was preferable than hitting it hard. So there were conscious attempts at writing the humor and what you might call unconscious ways of making it humorous.
Now, in the afternoon yesterday when I was getting ready to go to the movie, I saw T.J. Hooker comes on every afternoon at 5 in Los Angeles. Do you ever tune around and catch yourself and say, who is this man?
I never watch myself.
Would you just immediately turn it off if it came on?
That's exactly what I would do.
Because you prefer the image of your acting than what the reality is?
I don't like to see myself.
How can you avoid that if you direct yourself in a film? You have to look at yourself.
One of the most painful things I had to do while directing this picture was to watch what we call dailies, the day after film, to make sure that everything was all right. One of the most painful things I had to do was to see my face day after day.
Yeah, I've always had a hard time with that too. You know, it's like,
yes, back, go back. Yes.
What are your goals for the next, say, 10 years? You go into the 90s. What do you want to accomplish? You've accomplished so much as an actor and director and a performer.
I really feel I haven't accomplished very much, and I would like to make some more films in this manner. This was the most joyous experience of my life. I would like to make and act, write, or conceive, have a film made from an idea of mine, act in it and direct it, and finish up and present it to you and hope you liked it.
Well, congratulations on this one, and I know it was a lot of work and it turned out real well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you.